I want to show you first what the opposite of vulnerability is. And that's basically it. It's living from the outside in. Living from the outside in. It means this outside can be your parents. This outside can be your boss. This outside can be your lover. But when you live a life where you try to manage expectations instead of living from your truth, that's the opposite of vulnerability. It's manipulation. We've all been there, by the way. That's only a spectrum. So I'm talking here in extremes. So that's the one side, right? I had a job here when I was really living in that space. I lived in that space until I was 22. Probably before, when I was a child, I didn't live in that space. But after a while, I got really into that outside-in thinking that I have to manage the expectations of my boss, my family, my loved ones, in order to be happy or successful. Do you think it worked? No, not really. It didn't work at all. It actually made me extremely stressed. I remember one of the first jobs I had. That boss had a great impression of me. I was successful, but I was very, very tired and I was suffering a lot because what I did was not doing good work. What I did was managing his expectations, making a good impression, cheating kind of. And it was so destructive for me. And it's also the only person that is actually suffering when you live here is who? It's you. It's yourself. And we've all been in those kind of situations, right? I mean, I can see it for myself. It's just that one extreme that brings you to suffer. And it's the opposite, again, from vulnerability. It's manipulation. You manipulate your parents, kind of. You manipulate your teachers into thinking that you're a good student. You manipulate your bosses into thinking you're an amazing employee. Or you maybe, when you were a student, you tried to manipulate the teacher into thinking that you're a very bad person. But it's always from the outside in. The other thing, what I've seen, what Charlie just did now with this presentation, standing here in front of 30, 40 people and saying that he was anorexic. That's amazing. That it brings me to tears. Because this is inspiring. This is really opening up, really showing who you are. And this is a world I'm standing in for. I'm here on this planet to create a world where authenticity, where being yourself is the new status quo. And that's the second point. I'm a little bit emotional about this, maybe you see. It's living from the inside out. That's what I'm here to serve people to do. That's all I'm here to serve people to do. It's to live from your inner truth. It's to stand up and saying, well, I had weaknesses. And by that, inspiring others to also show that they have weaknesses. It's about being honest with everybody else. And vulnerability is nothing else than being honest in situations where you don't want to be honest. Because you're scared of the reaction of other people. Or because you're scared of your own fear. That's vulnerability, is nothing else. By the way, you can be successful here. You can be. I call them the suits, the empty suits. We've all seen people, and it's a little bit provocative, but we've all seen people who are on the outside very successful, but when you look into their eyes, there is nothing but fear. There is nothing but fear. You can be monetarily successful here. But I was lucky enough with the Lifestyle Design Convention, with the people I got to know. We invited the world's most influential bloggers, and they were so fucking awesome to actually come to Switzerland and be a part of that event. And by that, I surrounded myself by really successful people. And what do I mean by really successful people? It's people who are living from the inside out, who are happy or mostly happy in their relationships, who have fulfilled relationships, who have a fulfilled spiritual life, and who are also financially successful. That's what I call real success. The difference between here and here, this one, when you're successful here, I call it building a house on sand. You know what I mean? It's like, it seems awesome, but it's going to break sooner or later. Maybe they still stay rich, but they will suffer. They will suffer for a very long time. And I've been here. I talk from experience. What I would love you to do is coming from the inside out. I appreciate you for looking at me right now. It's awesome. And I want to invite you to this event next year, if you want to come. That's awesome if you come there. But what my takeaway for you is, guys, it's fucking amazing to be open and vulnerable. And I'm not talking to boys or girls specifically. It's just really, really scary and really, really awesome to be vulnerable. To really say the truth when you actually don't want to say it. I wish you a lot of fun on the rest of the event, and I hope you got something out of it. Thank you very much.